Ooh, you watching the Comedy Plug on Pharcyde TV. Boomy. Ooh, what up, party people? What it do? You rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, A-S-A-R, coming from the land of sugar free. So you know it's nothing sweet, but everything's nice. And you know what it is when you hear that lo-fi. It's a brand new episode of the Comedy Plug. That's right, where we play those bass, those slappers, those ha-has, and even you gotta know I got to bring a homie with me. And that's right, and I don't know how your week's been, but I hope everything's been great, healthy. There's been a lot of madness. Stop the violence, stop the shooting. But that ain't what we're here for, man. We're here to keep it going, keep it laughing, and keep it vibing. But without further ado, you ain't here with this. You here because I gotta bring you some sounds from the pie, baby. Pomona IE stand up. And first up is my boy David May with that new cut back May, and you know where you heard it at, baby. Ooh, the Comedy Plug. Oh, and what did it do, party people? If you're just tuning in, you're rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, A-S-A-R, coming from the land of sugar free. So you know it's not the sweet and everything's nice. This is a brand new episode of the Comedy Plug pending, where we got those slaps, those bass, those ha-has, and of course, you know it wouldn't be out the plug if I didn't have the homie with me. And that was our man right now, Aaron, with your track, well, In the Face.
In the Face.
In the Face.
Yeah.
You dropped a whole comedy album / some stand-up on it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there's some skits on it. But for the most part, a comedy rap album.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah, it's called This One's For Your Mama. Yeah, that's what it's by Aaron Monte. Yeah, man, that was cool. I there's some stand-up-ish. Yeah. I wanted to do stand-up clips, but then the pandemic hit. And then I was like, let me just record these in the studio so I can get this album out. Cause I've been working on it for like 2-3 years at that point. And I was like, all right, let me finish this thing.
Yeah, put some elements.
Right. I thought it made it a little bit better in some ways. Give a little bit of a story. So a lot of comedy, rap album, and R&B kind of too on there.
Yeah. So what made you bring that whole idea? Because you coming from Long Beach, went through the college, did the creative writing. Right. It was like, I want to do scripts, but then you was like, nah, I want to do these jokes, but now it's like, nah, I gotta drop these bars.
Man.
Where did that all come about?
Honestly, man, I have been really musically inclined since I was a kid, but just for fun, really. I hadn't really thought of. I was always the best singer and best rapper in my family. Yeah, exactly. They just found out just now.
You know what it is.
Exactly.
See you at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I'll see you then. I've always been really musically inclined, good at singing, rapping. beatboxing, things like that, you know. And I guess I honestly don't know what at what point I really wanted to start doing it. I really was a fan of Bo Burnham a lot, like big time when he first had his first couple of specials out. When he was like 18, 19, dropping those, something like that.
Yeah, he had the Tourette's that gave him the ability to know what he wanted.
Exactly. Sometimes your disabilities enable you to do things. You know,
like I was always going to be this magnetic superstar.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't have a choice. I'm disabled.
But I had to. Yeah, man. I was always a fan of Bo Burnham. Like I was a fan of really funny rap. I was a huge fan of well, I can't think of homie's name right now, man. Biz Markie. Biz Markie was one of my favorite rappers for whatever reason, just because he was silly. I always liked funny rappers. I always liked you know, people who just have fun while rapping, making music, because it always seemed like a music that you had to be hard. And I was kind of like, nah, I kind of like when people are just funny. Even the hard rappers sometimes are funny, and I'm like, I like that too. I like when people bring out their funny side when rapping. So really, after I started stand up, I was like, let me just make some comedy music. Maybe I can start performing songs at the end of my sets, and you know, I'll be strong at both doing music and making my jokes strong too at the same time. Because there's not, to me, not that many people where you can really, not many comics where you like know their jokes and their songs. You know what I mean? Either you know them for music or you know them for jokes. You know?
Or do they even really know their jokes? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. So I thought that was an interesting thing that I could probably use to my advantage. So after a while, you know, started recording some songs. Started working with Pink House, which is a collective that I got in with a bunch of other dudes and a few other women artists. You know, we started making music and making, you know, made beats. Then, you know, started performing on stage, you know, and it started going well. Performed a few songs at the Comedy Store after my sets, and it was fun. And like I've been hooked ever since. Now I'm just constantly thinking about when the next project is that I'm going to drop, honestly.
And with this project, what were the songs that didn't make it?
What songs didn't make it?
You have about 8 tracks on there?
I got about 8 tracks, 5 songs, and 3 jokes/skits.
Yeah.
I think every song that I made got on the album. I wanted to do more, but I just didn't have, you know, after it took so long to finish, you know, the songs that I had, or to finish like the project as a whole, I just left it at that. And also during that time, I started working with another comedian, Tommy Wakefield, on we had made a joint project, and we have our own comedy duo called Run the Fools. So after I started working with him on that, he makes, you know, he's really talented musician and rapper and comedian. Like he's really good. So like, after we started working on that, I was kind of like, all right, let me just finish this project, put it out, and then I'll start focusing on Run the Fools for a little bit.
Yeah. So what can we expect from Run the Fools?
Man, we dropped last single. Yeah, right, exactly. Last single we dropped was in April. There wasn't a music video for it, so that's why you know people don't be caring unless you drop a music video. But exactly, people got to see it in order to know that it's real. So we dropped a single, and then we're supposed to be dropping on April Fool's Day next year. That's the goal right now. We dropped on April Fool's 2021, and we're supposed to try to do it. It's like our second album next year.
Is it a working title?
Working title is so first one was just called Run the Fools, as you know, our name and the name of the album. Second is probably gonna be called Fool Me Twice.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. Most likely. We'll see what's up. But yeah, like I've been really focused on that. I've started working on my next solo project really actually very recently. So I started writing for that. So I'm really excited. So pending, I'm going to say April Fool's Day next year, 2023, is when we'll have to Run the Fools out. And
do you already, for your new solo project, do you already have like in perspective how many songs are going to be on that?
I want to do 10 songs and maybe 3-4 skits or jokes. I want to do more songs than I did last time. Okay. I want to be more silly with it too. I feel like I was real calculated with the last one.
Was it because Dookie Streaks was something? I was thinking about playing that one, but I think I'll let people go find Dookie Streaks because that's kind of hilarious. I had a good time. I just know that one. But
it's so
in your
funny.
vision, what's funnier than that?
Dookie Streaks is funny to me because it's one of those things where when a song is too silly, people will just be like, I'm not listening to that. Yeah. You know what I mean? People gotta like you said, people gotta warm up to that. People gotta find Dookie Streaks on their own and be like, if they listen In the Face where it's like, all right, this guy is cool, and then they find Dookie Streaks, then they'll be more open to listening to it. You see the video?
Yeah, there's a whole package. I'm gonna have to, if you're listening to the streets right now, go ahead, put in that Aaron Monte.
Right.
Dookie Streets.
Dookie Streets.
All right.
Right. Yeah, DOOKIE STREAKZ.
Streaks with a Z.
Streaks. Yes. Dookie Streets. That was actually the first song I ever recorded, I think, actually. Was the first song, Dookie Streets was the first one I ever recorded. And I was like, I'm going silly with this now.
And how did you come with the concept of not just Dookie Streets, but your overall, like how you was going to organize your album and what these songs were going to be generally about?
I guess it was during that time I was really like, my mom really didn't like a lot of the comedy I was like kind of doing. Like it was too crude for her, you know. So she would come to shows and you know I'd do like a really crude joke, and then afterwards she'd be like, okay, I was like halfway fine. That was good. That was real funny. You're doing the family proud. Yeah, you're doing the family proud. I can't wait to just see what you do next. You know, just you know, really sad. Like, so I guess that the theme of it was me as a comic, you know, the fictional version of myself trying to like relate to like older black women who were just trying to, you know what I mean, listen to comedy but not trying to hear all the crude stuff, you know what I mean? So that was really what the whole theme of it is making jokes about how, all right, I'm trying my best to not to not say anything crazy, but I'm gonna say something crazy for sure. You know what I mean? That was what kind of starts off with me being on stage. So the whole album is really supposed to be me being on stage going through different jokes or, you know, going through different songs and clearly not succeeding and not being crude. Clearly not succeeding at all.
I think In Your Face is your lightest one.
Except for the end when I get destroyed at the end. Yeah, I think it's one of the lighter ones as well.
I mean, Girls with Kids, that's a good one as well.
Right.
And so when it came to your music videos, did you have help incepting them, or was it all you Tobey the Wigway out here?
Man, honestly, I met a dude named Pete Sobat, who's he used to work in the music industry in like the 90s, 80s, 90s.
You got an OG?
Yeah, OG. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly. Then he kind of he went to graduate school and became a writer for a little bit. Then during like 08, 09, when the writer's strike happened, he kind of was out of work. Yeah. And he started his own website where he was like making videos, news clips, and bringing in people from the music industry to make videos with them, like J. Cole, Schoolboy Q, stuff like that. So his own website, he was growing on his own. And then he ended up teaching at St. Bernard's High School, one of my cousins. And after they became friends, after my cousin kept working with him on media stuff after they graduated, and he wanted to come up with a kind of like a daily show on the internet idea. So he was looking for a comic to do that. And my cousin was like, yo, my cousin Aaron's a comic. Let's hit him up and see what's up. So he hits me up, and I'm like 1 year into comedy at this point, and I'm not a political comic at all, but like,
lessons.
Yeah, exactly. So he hits me and he's like, yo, you want to do this show? It's kind of like daily show. Do you want to do it? And I was like, well, I've never done political comedy, but I'll try it out. I'm always willing to try some new stuff. So we went and did it, started doing shows, and started, you know, picking up views and stuff. And after I kind of told Pete, I was like, hey man, I kind of want to start doing, you know, comedy music, I might, start making videos and stuff. And he was like, well, I'll help you. He was like, honestly, I feel like hip hop is dead, but I feel like comedy music is probably one of the last real forms of music left to him. And I was like, okay, well that works for me then. Like, let's do some work. So he shot all of my videos for that first album. And he's also always willing to like help and like shoot anything for me. And he kind of came up with, I had some ideas of some stuff. After he heard my songs, he was like, okay, he has ideas automatically. He's like, I know what to do exactly. Let's shoot it and let's edit it. So I was really blessed to have him on my side, honestly, and helping me out and believing in the music and my art. So he's always down to help and do something. So
kudos to that, because it really is. You know, like everybody always wants to get a team. Right. Like we just gonna go out and be the Avengers,
right? And whatnot. Assembling automatically. But come on, team, let's do this.
Like it's Iron Man's armor or whatnot.
Right.
But it really is. It really is hard to get certain people like that, or to get real help out here.
Yeah.
Like, even if like. LA's filled with a bunch of like-minded individuals,
right?
And there's still not a good amount of teams as there should be.
Yeah, true.
When you look at the overall landscape, because like a lot of comics, they have some type of musical background, right? Like they might not rap like you, but they cello,
right?
you know.
Comedians and musicians are very closely related to me. Like they're both, you know, improvisational. You know what I mean? Our timing is important in both. You know, I think that comedians, especially rappers, are really like. That's why we always get along with rappers. And that's why we're always cool with rappers. You know,
because both sides actually take different levels of creativity.
Right.
And you have to be really versatile.
And every comedian wants to be a rapper, and every rapper wants to be a comedian.
T.I.
Exactly.
T.I.
Prime example right there.
Whoa.
Yeah,
he's doing it wrong. He's still out there bombing. He just
Is
bombed
he really
out
out there bombing still?
He just bombed out in New York.
Oh, no.
At the Green Room.
He's got to stop doing that. He's got to stop going out and bombing. Just stop doing it.
No. Well, it's like, I know you done hung out with Lil Duval. I know you know comics.
Someone take you under their wing, bro. You're not.
Even get DC Young Fly Young Self. I know he can teach you something, man. You know.
And that's the thing too. Sometimes people ain't got it. Sometimes people ain't got it.
You know what? Dude?
You can't teach funny, really.
Honestly,
you can teach how to write a joke, how to tell a joke, but you can't teach funny.
Honestly, yeah, that's what's kind of hard.
Yeah.
About when people tell me about their going to comedy school or whatever.
Right.
I do make fun of all those people because I'm like, yeah, you didn't really go to comedy school.
Yeah.
You kind of just went to a designated open mic. And
that you paid extra for.
That you paid way too much for. You could have just paid the $5.
You could have paid the $5.
Really, you could have went to a free one, but that $250 plus the book, I guarantee you never gonna look. You ain't never gonna look at that book again. Oh God. Oh God. I'll be like,
yeah,
but
seriously.
do you, boo?
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes.
I'm just saying, because if anyone's listening, if you want to get into stand-up, you just gotta hit a open
You just
mic.
gotta go do it. Honestly,
you just gotta
try it and discover it.
And honestly, there's no real. I don't want to say there's no real advice anyone can give you.
Yeah.
But as far as writing, there's nothing no one can say to you. They can give you performing tips.
Right.
But for some reason, everybody want to give you writing tips, and you be like, "I just saw your set. I can't listen to this."
Right. Yeah, seriously, man. Seriously. Yeah, it'd be like that.
Nah, but so you've already in your young career, you already had like a variety of writing experiences, being a daily show type format. You know, music you're discovering more from, but you have the experience with that and jokes. Which one do you want the most?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think that the thing I want the most is script writing the most.
Okay.
That's what I want the most, I think. The second of that, I do want to be like I said before, a better rapper with comedy. I do want to have funnier bars, like PFP the Pac-Man, BFP the Pac-Man. What is it?
Hey, yeah,
he's funny. He's so
hilarious.
Funny. Man. He's so funny, and I'm like, I want to get like that, like just saying whatever it comes out of you. You know what I mean? Like
there is a growing genre of that. And
it
I'm
is.
enjoying it.
I am too. I really like that a lot.
It kind of makes me want to try.
It makes me jealous a little bit. I'm like, how did I not think of that before?
Like, I woke up and hit you in the stomach, then you fart. I looked at you. I throw a dart. Don't dart. Like, what?
Exactly.
There was no correlation.
It's like it's letting go that I think in my writing that I want to be able to focus on more is being able to just let go and just say, instead of being so focused on the structure of where I want the song to go or my bars to go, just be saying stuff. Just be saying something funny that gets people attention. Because that's what people like the most. People don't be caring about what your story is in the song. They're like, oh, what would you say that was funny? What's the bar you said?
Yeah.
Let me spit this bar that you just said I thought was hilarious, you know? And other than that, like script writing is really what I want to get focused on too.
Do you want movies or series?
I would say series first.
Okay.
I think TV is in a really good place right now. Except for recently when people started getting fired like crazy from all these spots. Like that's been really tough, I've seen.
Well, I knew HBO had to fire people. They spent over $1 billion on a crappy DCL universe. Whatever that was, they overspent. Everybody was getting fired after that.
Yeah, man.
They definitely went over budget. They cut 2 of the same movie. Like
they just dropped them all. That movie was 5 hours, dog. I was like, no way. I had to watch it in pieces.
Like, you know what's going to save this franchise? The 5-hour version.
5-hour version.
It's the same story, but the graphics are different.
Yeah, but I feel like TV's in a really good place for like there's so many good shows out. There's so many. I feel like there's more opportunities for people to get series out because movies are dominated by like superhero movies and just little. Yeah. And you got to be really do independent film in order like A24 film or something like that in order to get your original ideas out.
And I think that's what honestly like it'll make it more believable to get a top A celebrity. Actor because they're dying. They don't want to do the superhero stuff. They just have to because of the money.
That's where it's at. Yeah.
But if you can really write a well story series or whatnot, you could probably like really get some.
Yeah, man. Seriously, honestly, that's literally all. They kind of that's how the industry be. Like they kind of be the same way as like the NBA. Like you got a script, but you got a star to go. You know what I mean? You can't win a ring without a star in your team. You know, like you got to do it that way.
Or you can Schroeder them. For 85 mil. Now I got you for the minimal.
Right. Exactly.
Take that, Denzel.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying to get Denzel for 5 years on this project. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. What are you gonna do? This is real thinking.
Yeah, we get Denzel and Chalamet. That's what we gonna get. Timothy Chalamet. And building a super team.
Because I'm telling you, he probably don't want to really do Doom.
Nah, man. I mean,
he want to be King Edward out here, but nobody will watch it. He want to show off his Scottish accent.
Right. Oh man, I think Timothy Chalamet. All that Timothy Chalamet really needs to do is lift some weights, and he'll be the biggest star out here, man. He like Anthony Davis when he first got to the league. You got to build like 10 pounds of muscle, and you could be MVP, dog. You
really can. You could be the next. You could be the next great action movie hero.
Yeah. You next Brad Pitt if you put some muscle on, dog. You got it.
They almost want it.
They almost want you, man.
You do have the talent, though, boy.
You got it. You got it already. Just hone in, man.
You're like a featherweight out here, though. It's not believable.
You can't rock with the big dogs like that.
Coming in with bird chest.
You got Denzel's son out here coming from the NFL. Denzel's son coming straight from the NFL acting. Come on, man. That's your competition, dog. You got to do this.
He became a sex symbol immediately. Immediately. Pretty privilege was a thing for him. Oh, God.
Right. For real, though, man.
No, but he's a great actor, not to take away from black.
Nah, for real. Yeah, right.
Everybody black. I'm on my Issa tip.
Exactly. We on that time.
But we are going to keep it rocking, keep it going.
Yes,
we got more comedy. We got more music. Do me a favor. If you're watching now over on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit that like, leave a comment. You know what I mean, real quick. And if you want to observe the full feature length of this show, you gotta listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Deezer. Who is listening to Deezer? Why is this still an option in my thing? I don't know.
Every time you say it, I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
But it's an option. It's an option that I got, and I want someone to utilize it. Cause
my music's on there too, so I do not blame you at all. I'm like, yeah, Deezer. We'll put it on Deezer.
And if you're a Deezer person, please leave a comment on Deezer
how do we download it? What is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Because I could tell you how to get to Sesame Street. I can't tell you how to find Deezer.
Exactly.
But let's keep it going. This is Bell 9, Cypress Man, a big body. Ooh, what it do, party people? Thank you for tuning in and chilling with us. If you're just cutting in, you're rocking with the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR, coming from the land of sugar free. So you know it's nothing sweet, but everything's nice. And this is the comedy plug where we play the slappers, that bass, them ha-has. And of course, you know I gotta have a homie with me. And my boy, Aaron, man. So you're out here. And you got a cool little story, a local coming, trying to do creative writing.
Yeah.
Got blessed with some gigs to do some writing for, what was it, Blurred
Culture.
Blurred Culture.
Blurred Culture.
Was that the site that you...
That's the site where I really started doing everything. Yeah.
And
writing for that and performing all that. Yeah.
And how was that experience being actually tied to a network? You know what I mean? Because so many, even if it was just a YouTube channel, well, not just a YouTube channel, that's still major,
right? Because
you got backing for your work. But what was that whole experience like working with a network and a channel?
It was cool, man. Honestly, like posting videos. When we would post a video, we would, of course, always hope that it would go up. And the cool thing about working with like it was kind of like a news outlet YouTube channel thing, like, is that already had followers, was kind of like anything could go up at any point in time. You know what I mean? Like we had a few people, like I mentioned, like Wiz Khalifa in one of the episodes, and Wiz Khalifa's mom reached out and said how funny she thought it was, and like you just never knew what was like someone was gonna see, and how many views it was gonna get. Like we was actually going up for a while, man. Like I think the most we had was maybe 20K on a video, and I was like, that was the first time I really got anything close to like over like 5K on a video, back when I first started. So it was pretty cool, man. It was dope seeing how people were already connected, and then that was the first time I also noticed that the trolls on the internet, and that was a fun part too. That was fun. For some reason, it didn't bother me. Like someone got on there and said I was Bayesian.
What?
Aaron Monte is Bayesian. I thought that was the funniest thing I had ever seen in my
That's funny.
life. And it was just stuff like that where I was kind of like, dang, I go through and read the comments and see what people were saying about me. And a lot of time I kind of just thought it was funny. But that was the first time I had ever I had that kind of thing happen to me, where just strangers were on the internet just talking about you. You know what I mean? And I thought it was interesting too. But I'm also a person who things don't really get to me like that, especially from strangers. But you can't really hurt my feelings if you're a stranger.
Here's something I want to pose, just throw out there, because there are the trolls that just leave the comments,
right?
But given recent events with unfortunately the death of PNB Rock,
right? Rest in peace.
Not just PNB Rock, just a lot of rappers in general in the last 3 years. They did a list on social media. I was like, damn, we lost a lot to gun violence.
I saw that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, what do you think it is specifically that's going on that's putting musicians in trouble compared to comedians and compared to athletes? Because a lot of people always say, well, it's because they floss too much. But if I go on Kevin Hart's page, Kevin Hart would show me a garage of 12 different type of cars.
Right.
If you go on LeBron James' page, he'll show you he got a sunroof to his pool that comes down and creates a ramp, and his car comes out the pool. It's like D Wade posted a whole clip, like he literally got a line. Like right. So what do you think it is that's going on that's causing?
That's a good question, because I think about that all the time. I was thinking about that literally with the PNB Rock thing. I was kind of like, people were blaming it on floss and stuff like that, but I don't hear about this stuff happening to comedians, especially, like, just because that's where I relate to first.
Tracy Morgan rolling around in
exactly.
cars.
Yeah, exactly, and they're all through the city. They're all through LA all the time. You know what I mean? And you know where they at because they're on flyers, doing shows and stuff. You know
and
what I mean?
On the social media.
And on social media, they're everywhere. So, and to me, what seemed like to me was kind of how we I think as a society treats rappers. They're kind of like they're the most famous ones, and they have the most jewelry on or whatever they have, but people kind of see them as not being exactly human. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like, we kind of see them as like, yo, you're a rapper, you're not really a human. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how the streets have kind of treated them. It's kind of how like society in general has kind of treated rappers. And I think that's what is kind of, people kind of like desensitized by how hip hop, people get lost in these songs not realizing these are real people talking about these songs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And real people that get affected by this stuff. And these are rappers that are just talking about things that happen in the streets. They don't even really, some of these rappers ain't even really doing half the stuff they're talking about.
A lot of these
rappers ain't doing half of it. You know what I mean? So I think people get disconnected to a point where they start not seeing rappers as humans themselves and just feel like, yo, I can do whatever I want, especially because rappers especially people in the hood, like are the upper echelon or the highest that you can get to. You know what I mean? Like people look up to rappers and say, oh, I want to get on like this rapper. You know what I mean? Like people are like, that's the first thing people think about when they think of success in the black community, especially if people in the hood that, that's their main example of success. You know what I mean?
Man, I want to get on like James Harden. And they get like, I mean, NBA players get like a quarter of $1 billion.
Crazy.
I think Steph Curry is supposed to sign $1 billion shoe deal.
Right. And here's why I think the athletes aren't affected by it, is because when your favorite athlete wins, you win too. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, you didn't got on too. These rappers being on it do nothing for you. You know what I mean? So to these dudes, like, they can just go out and do whatever to them and not feel any bit of remorse, because I just Robin Hooded this situation. You know what I mean? That's how people feel. I feel like.
So
you know?
What you're saying is rappers need to have more parades for when the albums go triple platinum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's gotta be a city incentive. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta get some money to your city if you go platinum.
Just go around their tour bus on the top,
right, exactly.
smoking cigars.
Yeah. Another thing, man, is in this, and I'm not even trying to blame PNB Rock or anything like that, but it's hard. LA is a rough city, man, and and if you're going, and people were saying that people were after him before this, and this is kind of information. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know. It's hard to not be anywhere if you don't have a gun on you. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard, especially if you're famous and you want to be able to be who you are and wear what you want to wear. You know, you should be able to wear your chains or whatever you want to wear. You know, but and that's a hard situation, because then you know what comes with that. Yeah, and that's a tough situation to be in.
If you're like a Kodak Black, where the police are breathing down your neck every 5 minutes, you're gonna go to jail.
Right, 100%. So it's kind of like, it's hard, man. It's really like, you know, you constantly having to keep your head on a swivel. And it's like, sometimes I just want to eat some waffles. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just want to sit down and eat some waffles. I don't want to keep my head on a swivel all the time.
And here's the crazy part, like that. Like, I'm gonna try to always take it to the black community, but sometimes I do. But the black community don't get it. Like, there was a lot of people like, why that Roscoe's? Why that Roscoe's?
Right.
But the thing is, why can't the wealthy black people spend money in the community?
Right, true.
But we're going, because first of all, you always hear the community, people need to come back, bring it back to the hood. Yeah. But when they do,
what happens to them? You know, exactly. You're right. So many rappers have been in their own communities. So many examples.
Earlier this year,
Dolph, Nipsey, like so many, like, you know what I mean? Everyone's just in their own community, supporting their own community places, and that's what happens to them. And that. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point, man. Because I was the first thing I thought. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, that's a rough Roscoe's. Yeah, that's down the street from where I live right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's a rough Roscoe's. And I was kind of like, dang, why did he go there? Like, there's like Hollywood and stuff. But it's like, that's not. Because you ain't trying to eat Roscoe's in Hollywood. You know what I mean? That's not what you're trying to do. Like, you know.
And plus, what if he's someone that loves his people?
Exactly. He could know people there that he wanted to go visit. You know what I mean? It could be anything. You know, like, yeah, you're right, man.
Like, sometimes we count our own future dollars.
Yeah.
And that jive. But if you was to get hit,
yeah.
I know. That's messed up. I know, because I was thinking of this question. Like, if you were a rapper and they were gonna catch you slipping at your joint, what would be the joint you wish they got you at?
That I wish they got me at?
No. That's crazy. I should have wrote that. Hold on, let me delete it down. That's a weird question. You know what? I should say these questions out loud, because it wasn't until everyone started looking at me right now. I wish everyone.
I like how you stopped the music too,
because you know, I thought this was a fire question, and then you looked at me, and then my producer looked at me, and I was like, all right, Tony, I think you need to. And that's why in the middle of the question, I was trying to stop it.
Yeah. But you had already started, so it was too late.
So it was too late, so I'm committed. But as I'm saying it, I'm looking at everyone's face, I'm like, this was a horrible question. Why would you wish to get hit?
Right, anywhere, right.
But this literally came to the PNB Rock. It was like, so if you got caught slipping and the joint establishment, what would it be at?
If we're talking about likeliness, because if it's in the frame of likeliness,
I'm not wishing this time.
Where would I? Yeah, right. If someone were to catch me slipping somewhere, man. Because I get what you mean, like, because if people found you, like, what if that was a Roscoe spot that was like, yo, he's at this Roscoe's? You know what I mean? Like, this is, you know what I mean? I don't even know. If I do say it, I feel like I put myself in a position to get caught slipping. But if I had to say, if if you want to catch me slipping, I'll be at this address.
I'm worse.
Tomorrow night.
I'm horrible. I'm horrible. Yeah.
But I will say this, I do always feel like I'm going to get caught slipping at a weed shop somewhere. That's always where I feel like I'm going to get caught slipping.
I say it's easy. You going to catch me at
Right, exactly.
One, because they making me wait out line.
It's honestly, and I've been in so many situations where I've been feeling like, man, I somebody could get me right now. And it's like, no cap. Like, it's always in one of those spots. I'm always like, I shouldn't be here right now. Maybe I should get out of here, you know?
Hey, being someone that's from a tough neighborhood, you grew up around with people that were, probably connected with the activities.
Yeah.
When were you able to cut them off from your life, and did they take it personal?
Ooh, that's a good question. For me, it kind of... I actually just saw a lot of my friends from my neighborhood recently because one of our friends had died. And I don't ever feel like I cut anybody off. I feel like over time, I went to different high schools and different schools, and then everyone kind of stayed, at Morningside High School and kind of stayed local. But my parents kind of wanted us to go to... I went to Bishop Montgomery in Torrance. My mom.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom.
Did you play sports?
I did. I played football.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
I'm a local. I know.
Where did you go?
I'm from Pomona. I was in Kenesha, but Morningside, we used to see them off in CIF at certain tournaments.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bishop Montgomery.
Sports is a huge thing in California, bro. Like we're all so connected by that. It's so crazy.
Dude, I'm let you get back to your story.
Yeah.
Real quick, a lot of out of town hoopers from New York or wherever, they come here.
They don't be knowing what we got to have,
and they be talking that jazz. I'm like, nah, dog. I don't care where you from. We bout buck.
Yeah, bro. California is about them buckets for real, man.
Like, I don't care what you gonna do on here. You ain't gonna run out hard. We gonna run
exactly. We gonna go crazy. Exactly. True, man. But I guess over time, I kind of like felt distant from them, from people in my neighborhood. Yeah. Over time, just by I was always in Torrance, all the time. The people kind of went their own directions, in my neighborhood. But I kind of reconnecting with them. You kind of see, I never, like a lot of the guys in my neighborhood, some of them ended up doing really great things and like moving on to Orange County and having really good jobs. And like, everyone kind of stayed on track. And I think that was important too. And that was what I was proud of too, was seeing how people they're still affected by the lifestyle that we grew up around, but they're still trying to keep it together and not, you know what I mean, like fall victim to any of the shit that happens in things that happen in our city, you know what I mean?
It's okay, sorry, Carmelita.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've been wondering this whole time I've been cursing on accident. But a lot of things that happen in our neighborhood, and reconnecting with them, I was kind of like, dang, I'm really glad that I got to see everybody again. It's so rare, especially in the circumstance of a death in our friend group. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, rest in peace, Elijah. You know what I mean? But I've really been proud of seeing my friends in the neighborhood, how they kind of really kept it together and not fell victim to anything, even though we did take some pictures and a few of the homies were pointing guns at the camera. But that's not important. But that's how, I really feel everyone's a victim of circumstance and wherever they grew up with, I feel like. And I think that they're doing good for where we grew up and how we came up, I
think where I'm having trouble from is because I'm from Pomona or whatever. And some people did go good. Yeah. But now I'm in my 30s and I still got friends that are still getting shot. And I'm like, yeah. Do I need to talk to you? I know, elementary, yeah. Right. But you're still out here doing things and getting shot.
Yeah, exactly, man. It really is. And honestly, bro, there's some of the, I will say the ones that people were getting shot when I was a kid, and they would just have friends on the street. Just I got shot the other day. And I'm like, dog, I don't really see them anymore. I don't know where they at. I don't know how they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're still around. Yeah. But the core, people on the street that I grew up with on the exact street as me, they were able to at least get out in one way or another, move to Hollywood or move to Koreatown or move to OC. Everyone was able to figure it out and keep living, man. That's really what it is.
Oh, that's definitely beautiful. I think I gotta X-name my day ones.
Man,
that's really
the wildest thing to me was that I hadn't seen this when I was a kid, and when I saw everybody a few months ago, everyone had a new nickname that I didn't know everyone had. I'm over here calling everyone my government names, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "My bad, I didn't know that you were K-pop now. I didn't know. I know your name was K-pop now. I thought." I thought it was Kenny. I wasn't sure, like that was the most interesting thing to me was like my brother was calling them these nicknames and I was like, that's their name? I didn't know that at all,
Real quick, if you were to go on tour, what's the name of your tour? And who are the two talents you taking to open for you?
Oh man, that's a crazy question. I can only take two?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
A name of a tour, I don't know. But if I'm gonna think of that, but I'm gonna answer the second part first. Two talents I'll take on tour. At the moment, I would go with Max Castillo, aka Big Time Macca. We just came back from New York. He brought me on his tour recently. He's super talented, really funny. His videos are hilarious, and he's got a following. So you know what I mean. Like he can give me some tickets sold. Second, I would have to go with Pink Fox. I'd probably go with Pink Fox. That's the homegirl. She's out here doing it big right now. Just got back from JFL. She's going crazy. And I would have to say the tour would be. The name of the tour, Mayhem with Monte or something like that. Monte's Mayhem or Monte's Mayhem. Musical Mayhem, something like that. You know what I mean?
So you're going to split your set?
Yeah, exactly. And I'd probably do. I'd have to bring Tommy Wakefield with me to run the full songs, and probably have him do a little bit of instrumental playing too. But those openers, I would have to go big time in Pink Fox.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a difficult question for you to ask me just now. The homies hear this, they're gonna be like, "What? I'm not going on tour?" No.
I got limited, man. It's a budget.
It's a budget. The next one, dog. The next one, I promise. You know what I mean?
It's a 20 tour. It's a 20 stop.
Stop. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I can't be all y'all.
That's so funny. Yeah, man. So, I'd say Monte's Musical Mayhem, something like that. Do some music and comedy.
The M3.
The M3, the MMM. Yeah, exactly. And if I can I have a host or no? Can I choose a host or that other person?
No, because they do have hosts.
Okay, I would go with Sean Connor as the host. Okay. My boy Sean Connor. And then that'd be probably the whole thing. And it would go up. It would go up.
We're going in?
What? I know she can't say nothing, but
wait, like actual Sean Connery?
Sean Connor.
Oh.
Sean Connery. If I was like, Sean Connery. Next coming to the stage. Aaron Monte.
Actually, that would be lit. Well, manifest.
Exactly.
But we're gonna keep it rocking, keep it going. We got more music from you. Coming with another artist from the pod. That's Illy Ilsamar with Isaiah Shett with Bands. And you know you heard of that, baby. Shout out to all the party people listening up until this point. The lo-fi that was provided for us today was from Satire. The comedy that you was hearing was off that Black Gentrifier, Daryl Charles, available on all streaming platforms. Be sure to go and check that out. And once again, if you enjoyed any of the sounds that you heard on the streams, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Deezer, any of that, you could find that info with the link in the bio. Just go ahead and click it. Take you straight to the playlist. Each episode is specially curated for its own individual sound. But of course, we got the bops, the slaps, the jams, and the ha-has. But it wouldn't be the plug if I didn't have my homie with me.
Yeah.
Oh, are we starting a group?
Yeah.
We're doing it.
I've been harmonizing every time you do it. Dude, it's fun.
I've been hearing it too, and I'm like, you got bars, I got bars. It's like, is this the NWA of comedy?
Let's do it.
I'm with it. I've been learning my drum pad, finger drumming.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all I need. Some finger drumming on the pad.
You spit off the bars, and then I'm just like, boop, 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 boop.
Exactly. Let's get it.
I'm with it. But no, Eric, for real, dude, for real, my G, it has been a super pleasure having you come through today.
Thanks for having me, man.
Hey, thank you for coming through. Thank you for making time.
Of course.
And you coming from the South LA still?
Yeah.
What was that traffic like?
It was okay. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was all
right. Cool. Okay. Because, sometimes I feel bad for people, but I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do.
The only thing I'm ever worried about is parking. Every time I get somewhere, I'm like, all right, let's figure this out now. Let's find out.
I feel like the future the architects of LA always knew they were sacrificing parking when they was building it.
Yeah.
It's impossible for 40-mile stretch of land to not have parking anywhere.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This was stardom. This
is on purpose.
If this was a conspiracy theory, this is the one I want. This is the one I believe it was planned to not have parties.
Right, exactly.
If you was to have a wild conspiracy theory or create a wild conspiracy theory, what would it be based on?
Oh man, a conspiracy theory based on that's a good one, man. If I had a conspiracy theory, it would probably be about something to do with Democrats and Republicans all secretly being some kind of monster.
They're the same Leviathan?
Yeah, they're the same thing.
This is like a Hydra?
Yeah, they're kind of like, they're like Hydra, exactly. Exactly. Because, you know, they don't, everyone's seems like they're on the same team, kind of.
Hey,
everyone's like kind of like secretly getting sworn in the same club.
Honestly, I think we're getting closer to getting that third party vote after all.
That'd be lit. But guess what? They'd be part of it too.
It won't be until they named it.
Yeah, exactly. Now we're all together. We join forces. Yeah, they're all part of the same team. And I don't know if it's a conspiracy theory, but if we're gonna say that if I had one, it'd be that. Yeah. They're all part of their own.
Government's a Hydra.
Yeah. The government is Hydra. Yeah. 100%.
But real quick, dude, I know the people have been enjoying the godlike voice. Go ahead and, drop where they can find you at.
Oh, man, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all at The Real Aaron Mon. That's at TheRealAaronMon. Yeah, man, you can find me. I got shows all coming up next week. On Wednesday, I'm at Lamorte Comedy Show. The 23rd, I'm at Scoopty Boopty's Basement Fest with Niles Absent. 24th, 24th, we had Vino Underground in Glendale. Got that every second and fourth Saturday, so come check it out. Check me out. Check my music out. Check out This One's For Your Mama by Aaron Monte and Run the Fools by Run the Fools.
Oh,
yeah.
And it's been juicy. And real quick, party people, I gotta say, if you enjoy any of the content that you're seeing on the social medias, once you follow us over at fm.comedyplug, that goes especially out to Maven Content Creator over at Maven Content Creator. If you hit them up, she'll be able to help y'all on a podcast, your social media presence, coming up with the SEO and all that jazz. Gotta give a shout out to one time to the producer. Special shout out to Boyle Heights. Thank you guys for allowing me to keep coming back. Yeah. I appreciate the platform. Shout out 101.5 FM, the whole fam bam. And to you guys, the ones that are listening and looking on the YouTubes and on the streams. Again, if you're watching over on Pharcyde TV, I definitely appreciate you. But do me a favor, check it also out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Deezer. That way you can hear how the mix of the music and the comedy is slapping with the convo, and it's all plush, baby. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Be sure to catch us at fm.comedyplug on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We're up every Tuesday, every Wednesday. Brand new episode, Pharcyde TV on the streams. Brand new episode. You can hear us live on lpfm.la at between 2 p.m. 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Is there any more juice that a brother should do?
They should do 1 a.m. on.
And 1 a.m. on Wednesdays, that's where you can catch us. Shout out to producers. They're very key and vital. But for me, I am outro, you see. This is the speech guy, Tony Asar, ASAR. Until next time, my friends, I'm going back to the land of sugar free, where it's nothing sweet, but everything's nice. Ooh.